And the poll is kind of what we were talking about, but we need to really explore the Cakes jinx factor. Who deserves the blame? 3 choices: Cliff Kingsbury, struggling offense, Austin Seibert, missed field goal, 2 extra points, or Cakes being a jinx.
Well, I know where these votes are going to come in.
You can vote.
When did you post?
I just posted Sports Junkies
Cakes,
Radio.
Will you at least acknowledge that you are at least this area's biggest mush?
Mush, I would go with. Jinx. Yeah. I mean, if you believe in jinxes, I just feel like I don't believe in jinxes, voodoo but and like.
I mean, you just have.
It's uncanny.
I can agree that I'm a bit of a mush / cooler.
Yeah,
when it comes to making picks on the air.
You're
sure.
a cooler. Yeah,
I could agree to that.
Valdez put together a montage. Let's listen to it, and then we can open up the phone lines 800-636-1067 because there was a lot of venom towards Cakes, a lot of blaming towards Cakes, hundreds of comments on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter blaming Cakes. Here's Cakes with some of his predictions.
I'm sorry. Jaden Daniels, he physically can't lose to a Cooper Rush-led team. I'll just put that out there right now.
That sounds like Tommy DeVito.
I'm not going to do a wacky one-sided bet.
Yeah.
But
why don't you
mark this on the tape, Valdez. It's physically impossible for Jaden Daniels to lose to a team led by either Cooper Rush or my guy. It's my guy, Trey Lance. That will not happen. EB, remember,
he's got 3 touchdowns.
Never forget that I've gone on record saying it's physically impossible, even with a beat-up rib, that Jaden Daniels and company are going to drop a game to the Dallas Cowboys when they need this game at home. Cooper Rush threw for 45 yards in the last outing. 45 yards! He was 13 of 23 for 45 yards passing. 2 yards per attempt. Never been more confident for the Commanders to beat the Dallas Cowboys than I am for them to beat this iteration that's coming in. If you're scared of Cooper Rush, then you're scared of everything. And trust me, I'm scared of a lot of things. Not scared of Cooper Rush. Not scared of him. Even one scintilla. Not scared. If the Cowboys win.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I may call out Cooper on Monday.
Listen,
I didn't even consider it.
You're brave enough to be here.
There's no brave enough. It's a work day. I'm at work. I mean, that's all there is to it. Never considered, oh my God, I can't handle all the criticism and the calls. I'm going to have to fake being sick. Didn't cross my mind even once.
It's just that this prediction is on the heels of the Alex guarantee.
I know
so it's kind of like a progressive jackpot.
Can you play
jinx.
that one?
I've been living in Coolerville for the last week plus. I completely understand.
Yeah.
Now
I just wish you'd stay out of the business of proclamations.
To be fair, I think he's picked.
It's kind of what I do.
He's picked the Commanders. You've probably picked the Commanders every week this season, except for maybe one.
Yeah, I don't know. Ovi never gets injured. Go look at his numbers. Go look at the games played.
Yeah.
But it's not just picking the Commanders saying, oh, I think they're going to win. No, the bravado that comes with his stupidity.
I had a lot of swagger about the Commanders, and I felt like I should have.
You know what it is?
Because the Cowboys, they were an abject disaster limping in here.
It's also...
And somehow, the Commanders let them beat them.
How much do you blame Cakes? 800-636-1067. It's also your quarterback snobbery, which I generally agree with. When there's a matchup and it's against a backup quarterback, that's when Cakes really likes to puff his chest.
Yes.
So last year it was Tommy DeVito.
Because generally, your starter, your number 2 overall pick, should help lead your team over, how old is Cooper Rush? A 32-year-old never was. That's what he is. And that's who the Commanders lost to.
I'm with you.
You know what? That is not my fault. That is the Commanders and the coaching staff and everybody that works for the Commanders, whether you wear the uniform or not, that's their problem to deal with.
Right.
Not mine.
I'm just saying
if you think I'm a jinx, fine, that's cooler, whatever.
I'm saying that's when your bravado really comes out.
Yeah, it does.
And you're right. What should happen is what happened to Tommy DeVito yesterday.
Right. Yes. Correct. A number 1 pick, Baker Mayfield, goes in with the superior team,
And that's not even a good team because they're sub 500.
Completely dominates Tommy DeVito and company.
Right.
That's what should have happened in Landover yesterday. Turns out the offense didn't feel like taking all the gifts. The Cowboys are like, oh, you want the ball? Here. You want the ball in good field position? Here. We'll give it to you. But you're not going to do anything with it. You're just going to squander it. I guess that's my fault. I guess that's my fault, too. That I couldn't help Jaden Daniels and company convert with really good field position throughout.
The thing that irritates
I can take the blame.
The thing that irritates me the most is I'm not a huge fan of our defense, but honest, and they didn't play great yesterday. And Cooper Rush had a 117 rating and everything, and great, best numbers of the year by far, best numbers probably in 3 years. The defense only gave up 20 points. Am I right? They only gave up 20 points.
Hey.
The offense is what's sabotaging the team.
Okay, all you Commanders fans out there, who are you going to blame when Will Levis comes into your stadium next week? When he comes in and gets sacked 10 times, but still leads his team to a win. Not going to have me to blame. Not going to have me to blame for that. Who are you going to blame then?
EB, I might not pick Tennessee now. I'm on the fence, but Cake seems like he's picking Tennessee.
Maybe I should just guarantee Tennessee wins.
No,
maybe I should do that.
No. You can't. No.
You got to go with your take.
Maybe I'll
you got to go with your.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little hiatus from a proclamation business, and let's just see what happens.
But you can't do that.
Let's see what happens.
You can't go on hiatus from predictions and proclamations.
Maybe I'll be
that's in the job. That's in the job description. It's in the job description.
No. I just don't have to. I don't have to make a guarantee that one team will beat the other. All right. Even though it's kind of my brand.
Let's go to Scott in Hagerstown. A lot of people actually threatening violence. I don't want to promote it, but let's just go to Scott. Scott, what's up?
Hey, EB, it's good to talk to you. You are now my favorite.
It used to be Cakes?
Yeah, it was. Because, I'm short and I have a beard. And it is what it is. But, he sucks. Ovi getting hurt last week.
Yeah.
His proclamations suck. We can't be beat. It's a fucking divisional game.
Don't curse. No F-bombs.
Don't curse, man.
Easy there, my friend.
Don't curse.
Hey, you know what? This is what I need to talk about. These is IJS. It's just sports.
I actually thought about that when I was hitting balls. I didn't even really watch the 4 o'clocks.
Yeah,
I had no interest.
Right.
I was just like, whatever.
Your emotions were toyed with.
Well, I mean,
during the first 3 hours.
I'm going to be completely honest with you, and people don't like this. I enjoyed the last 5 minutes because it was at least entertaining.
Right.
It made it a little more palatable.
Right.
For me. I know people don't like that, but that's true. I just kept thinking though, what do I care? I got beautiful kids, beautiful wife. Great, I play golf every day. What do I care?
Right.
Why does this bother me?
Right.
It's just sports. All I was thinking about, IJS.
Yep.
IJS.
It's a great brand.
Let's get the beanies ready, Valdez.
And what do I care?
I'm upset at you, Eric.
Because
I feel like you should be taking it up with Cakes more than what you're doing right now.
No,
after the first drive, you're tweeting, this is all.
Cakes.
Yeah, you blame Cakes. Now you're sitting back there feeling sorry for him.
No.
This loser cursed your team.
No, I don't think he's a curse.
Hey, now you're jumping it off the top.
No one else is jumping off the top rope. He cursed you.
No.
He cursed you. He's 1-3 since wearing the dumb Dan Quinn outfit. He cursed you.
How dare you? That was a good Halloween outfit.
But I do think it's a litmus test. Like, were you sad yesterday or no?
I mean, I was disappointed. I wasn't as. I'll be honest.
You can't baptize him. He doesn't care because he gets Jaden fantasy points for Hail Marys.
Rushing yards.
Your team got sullied by the curse of Cakes.
I wish you guys.
You should be angry.
My oldest son, called at the end, and his voice just had so much anguish. I mean, he's like,
you didn't feel that.
I mean, I don't think I felt at his level. He's like, why do they kick it to Turpin? Right. And I just felt his pain through the phone line. Right. But again, Commanders Nation, please blame me. Please pile on. I'm the mush. I'm the cooler. Whatever.
Here's the thing. This is what I honestly think, that we should be capitalizing on it again. But I know it's torture for him. He'll have the face for 3 months.
If you guys resurrected alwaysbetagainstcakes.com and just profited, I would just hop on board and profit with you. Wouldn't have.
He doesn't even understand his own bad aura. Cakes can't hop on and like it's Cakes.
It's only stuff. It's stuff that you have to listen to your core.
Yes, you have to
when
listen.
You're all in.
Yeah.
The instinct is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be resolute in something. It has to be natural.
Let me just point out, everybody picked the Commanders to win.
Right, but we at least saw scenarios where we could lose. We saw scenarios where we could lose. Every time I picked the Skids, I said, I'm scared about this game. Now, I'm scared about a lot of games, but I can see. But I've been down this road for 30. I see terrible losses.
You should be scared about the Titans game. You seem very nonplussed by the Titans coming up next.
You're not going to like this.
They're the Titans.
They're the Titans. So I'm picking us.
What?
Listen, you guys blame me. I'm picking us. Could we lose? Of course we could lose. We lose all the time.
I know, but
all we've done is lose for 30 years.
But Cakes doesn't set up his picks like that. He's calling it physically impossible.
I know. He goes all in. He goes so hard. But listen, I can't.
Look, I was
ain't
more
no way I'm picking Will Levis.
more resolute and had more conviction than everybody else. I was just turned out to be on the wrong side of it.
When did it dawn on you that this was not going to end up your favor?
In the first half, when Dallas just kept gift wrapping the ball and doinking kicks off the field goal, off the uprights, and Brandon Aubrey, one of the best kickers in the league, just missing field goals left and right, and then the Commanders still either had 0 or 3 points. Yeah. And I said, well, they're not taking advantage of these opportunities, and it's going to bite them on the ass. And of course, it's physically impossible, even with a beat-up rib.
All right, hold on. Let's go.
The Jaden Daniels and company are going to drop a game to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Let's go to Alan in Suitland. Alan, what's up?
All right. I think we need to do a social experiment and have Cakes recuse himself from ever picking the Redskins again, at least this year. Do it like the national guys do when they say, well, I'm calling the game this week, so I can't make a pick.
You know what?
I guarantee you we'll go 5-0.
I'm fine with that. You think I care whether I pick the Commanders to win or lose? You think it makes me lose 1 second of sleep? Of course it doesn't. If everybody wants me to sit on the sideline and not make a pick, fine. I don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Get in the face.
Weirdos.
He got it 8:15.
Bizarros out there.
Yeah. CK our program director wants to break the jinx by smashing the Raiders lamp. On the air, he thinks it'll break, like reverse some juju, something you love,
like an exorcist.
We got to do some sort of jinx exorcism.
It did make me laugh. One of the comments, guy said I should just go F my Raiders lamp. Stop this game. Just go F my Raiders lamp.
No, there is something to it where we need to figure out how to break it.
You can do whatever you want. You
can break the curse.
You can bring in a shaman. You can.
I don't think you can.
You can give me some crystals. Possessed. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You can bring a priest in here and try to perform an exorcism. I don't care.
You have a black cloud that follows you around everywhere.
Maybe. Listen, maybe that's the case.
I don't want to make it about me again.
Yes, you do.
Just go ahead. It's fine.
You notice when I picked the games, I was a little bit off, like before the season started. Like I think maybe I had them 6-3 or whatever, but I had a second half swoon. You guys mocked me. You're like, "Oh my god, you have."
Why do you always say we mocked you?
You did. Go to the tape. You're like, you have them 6-3, but then you have a swoon. I literally called this. I called the swoon. I live this every year. This always happens.
Usually they don't get out to a 7-2 start. Fact.
But I had a very good start and a swoon.
It was the first time since what? First time since 98. I honestly think
my instincts are the direct opposite of Cakes.
Hey, I got to get out the back patting machine for Bickle.
Thank you.
I went back this morning to listen to some audio from May of 2015 when the NFL moved the extra point back.
The wrong way?
No. Bickle said he hated it and it was stupid because there's going to come a point in time where you're going to lose a game by a point because something that everybody thought was a gimme now has been moved back to 33 yards.
Yes,
JP was like, this is a non-factor.
No.
We should never even talk about this.
It infuriated me.
Lurch was like 94% from 33 yards out. JP goes, I go to the bathroom during 33-yard field goals.
Right.
And Bickle goes, we're going to lose a game because of this dumb extra
that's
point.
going to happen, but
they just took
it's
chance.
minority.
You just added more chance to the outcomes of games.
Kickers were bad yesterday overall in the league.
Right.
Yeah, well, you knew that was right, though, right? Did you think I was wrong?
Well, I think most people just kind of forgotten that those things used to be gimmies.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they moved it back. Fairbairn missed a game winner that was a chippy, and there were multiple blocked field goals. It was a bad day for kickers overall.
It was a rough
in the league.
one.
And cakes.
I don't know.
Rough day.
I see JP's going back and forth with Cody. What did Cody used to do here? Was he a producer? Was he an intern? What was he?
He was the Grand Danny producer.
Okay, it was a Grant and Danny producer. I mean, I know Cody.
No, he was
No, he
B.
was
Mitch and Finley.
B.
Mitch and Finley.
Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, right.
producer. Okay, I mean, I know Cody, but Cody, whatever his name is. I'm sure he's going to attack me now, but I mean, I know him. I didn't know what he did.
All right, what about him?
Okay, he's going back and forth with JP about, and he did some AI generated stat from Google. Maybe it's true or not. That 2-point conversions are only converting at a 31% rate. Is that true? I thought the general notion was 50%.
But I think
is that proven to be incorrect?
I don't know about this year, but he did make a good point in that tweet that you just went 90 yards down the field and you're setting up to get a 2-point conversion after everyone's exhausted from sprinting down the field. You're not going to have your best play right
I just think it's just why throw a game to what I thought was a 50-50 proposition. If it's a 30-70 proposition, you guys still want to do that?
No, you got to kick the extra point.
Yeah, I'm an extra point
Kick
guy.
the extra point and beat those bums like you should have for the first 4 quarters. I said this earlier in the show, if you're just tuning in. When we finally scored, I was like, oh, good. Now all is right in the world. Everything's organized again, and we'll beat their asses in overtime.
No.
I never for even one iota considered going for 2.
Here's when you go for it. A couple years ago, when Ron didn't go for it in Philly, when you were a big underdog, he went for 1 instead of 2.
Different.
That's when you go for it.
Right. That's the distinction that I'm making.
Right.
We're the dominant team.
If they went for 2 and didn't get it yesterday, they would be roasting Quinn, saying, "You idiot!
Yep.
We were the better team.
Yes.
We had finally got our mojo back."
If you're going against like an undefeated team or some juggernaut, they're the freaking hapless Cowboys. And we think we have to have some gimmick 2-pointer to beat them? F off. We're going to kick the extra point, and then we're going to kick your ass in overtime.
I see between.
That's how I thought of it.
I see the answer as being between, and this is not specific. It says the success rate of a 2-point conversion in the NFL is estimated to be between 40 and 55%.
Who's
Across
saying
the 2018 and 2019 NFL seasons, teams converted 2-point conversion attempts 49.4% of the time.
I need a larger body of work. Give me a 5-year run. Go to StatMuse or one of these Canva. Go to something. Grok. Go to some AI thing.
I've never used Grok once in my life. I don't know which
I just
is worse,
wanted to say
Grok or Gronk.
Every time I see Grok, I think Gronk. I don't even know what it is.
But there are other factors. Yes, that's a factor that you were running, but the defense also was running down the field. I feel like you got the momentum. You also have Jaden Daniels. So what's the success rate of Jaden Daniels on 4th downs and 2-point conversions? I think it's very high.
Well, our 3rd down conversion has been pitiful.
And you just converted it. I don't know.
I mean, you don't think that they were aware that if they do a 2-point conversion, they're probably going to run Jaden out wide and do something?
I think they were on their heels. They couldn't believe what had just happened to them.
Hey, I'm just glad this conversation shifted away from me.
They still were on their heels.
No, Cakes, don't think I didn't forget. I'm an elephant over here.
I just hit
more ways than one. But don't think.
What, Valdez?
No, I mean, just Cakes is getting off scot-free.